the name FBA.
Yeah.
As initials, it doesn't even really flow well. And then when you actually say fundamental Black American,
foundational. Yeah.
it's they see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's so, what is it about that such a difficult to remember collection of words that caused you to be comfortable to rest right there versus keep thinking it through and come with something else?
Yeah, foundational Black American. I use that term because it's a term that can't be remixed. See, people can kind of remix other terms, like African American. That doesn't describe the people of the lineage here. We come from a specific lineage, descendants of slaves, descendants of freedmen. We are the foundation of America. So if you say a person is an African American, an immigrant from Nigeria who comes over here is an African American. Charlize Theron, who was from South Africa, she's an African American. So a lot of people can remix African American. People can remix Negro. People can remix colored. So a lot of these terms that were used to describe us, a lot of people can latch on to it, and that's been a problem. Foundational Black American is a term that cannot be remixed. You're only talking about one group. There's only one group of Black people who built this country from scratch, and that is us, the descendants of freedmen, foundational Black Americans. And I think that's the reason why a lot of people kind of have a problem with the term. They somehow accuse us of being divisive, but it's no, we're just looking at our lineage.
Correct.
We have a specific lineage that we're acknowledging, especially when we're discussing the need of getting reparations, because there's a big reparations movement right now.
That was the next word on my list. Go ahead, keep talking.
And when people see that we're making traction with this reparation thing, because we have the political class talking about it, it's on the table. They're openly acknowledging it. So for a long time, when we talk about reparations, the conversation got smacked down. Like,
Exactly.
shut up. And you ain't got to get nothing. And everybody kind of laughed at us.
Like the concept of a Black president.
Right, right. Now that we got some traction, you got a lot of other people saying, well, damn, if they get reparations, hell, I'm kind of African-American too. Can I qualify? And we're saying, hey, let's wait a minute. We're not going to have race-based reparations. We're going to have lineage-based reparations. So we're really focused on our lineage. So that's where the term foundational Black American comes into play, and that's why it's so effective.
Two-part question.
Yeah.
First, you and I look like we could have the same aunties, grandparents, or something like that. So I would just assume if you qualify, I qualify.
Yeah, because your family is originally from Texas.
Texas, on my mother's side.
Right.
And then on my father's side, as far as I can remember, Arkansas.
Yeah.
So, so, but then just I'm basing on skin tone and things of that nature, bone structure. Hair texture, I don't know. You look like you might have a little more cut. I don't know. But you know what I'm saying? Like we might have some you realize. But so I would just assume, I want to know, outside of you and I just assume I'm included, how do we know for a fact we would be in qualification for reparations if they were a reality? And the second part, in the term foundational Black Americans, why do we accept the word Black to identify us when there's no other group of people on the face of the earth that are identified by the shade of the skin? Why are we not formulating a term that excludes our color?
Well, you do have some Native American tribes like the Blackfoot Indians, stuff like that. Yeah, so there are some terms.
So Blackfoot Indians indicates a natural color of a foot, or
that was the original. See, a lot of the Native American tribes, these were terms given to them by the Spanish. You got to understand,
just like Black.
Right. So they gave them descriptive terms. There's the Creek Indians. There's no such thing as a Creek Indian. The Spanish saw a bunch of Native Americans by a creek, said, "You're the Creek Indians." There's no such thing as a Seminole. The word Seminole is based on the Spanish word runaway, because there were a lot of runaway Blacks living with the Creeks, and they started the Seminoles.
That's the type of education that's needed.
Right.
Because the word Seminole's been around so long, I have no idea what it means, but it's prestigious. Teams call themselves Seminoles.
Right.
You would never know. Go ahead. That's
It's
deep.
runaway. Yeah, the Seminoles, half of them were Black. The military arm of the Seminoles down in Florida, who fought the United States government, they were Black. In fact, the United States government said, this is not a Negro, this is not an Indian war, this is a Negro war. These Seminoles are Negroes. We're fighting a bunch of niggas. So the Seminoles, most of them were Black people, because the term mean runaway. The Indians out in Arkansas, or not Arkansas, Arizona, What's that Indian tribe?
Apache.
Apache, right. Their names, no. Now I'm thinking Navajo. The Navajo Indians.
Navajo and Apache, the top two
Right.
names that you hear.
The Navajos, their real name is the Dene Indians. That's their original name. Navajo, that was an amalgamation of the word horse thief. That was a pejorative term given to them.
Navajo?
Yeah, that was a...
Who would have thought this
Yeah.
is such a common...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but they're originally called the Dene people. So a lot of these names were thrown on us anyway. So our thing is, we understand historically that we've been classified as black. We have been distinctively marginalized as a group of people. So we're embracing our lineage. And we use the name black because we're not going to let black be negative just because the white supremacists made it negative.
It's similar to the A versus the ER.
Right.
We're going to fly it out.
Just because they made the thing negative don't mean that we have to accept it as a negative. There's nothing wrong with black. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging yourself as black. Nothing wrong with it at all. We have to start designating ourselves. When we start naming and labeling ourselves, that's a power move. Because when the white supremacists show up, the first thing they do is start labeling everything.
I just heard you explain that to somebody.
Yeah.
And they were trying to challenge you as far as being a FBA in your positions, and they were from afar.
Yeah.
And you were telling them, well, you know, the difference between our experience and their experience. And he was accented calling you mate, but he was African.
Yeah. But real shit. A lot of the African countries now, some of the names were given to them. Like Nigeria, that country was named by a white woman, Flora Shaw, I think his name. A white woman from Europe named that country Nigeria. So a lot of folks don't know that a lot of these names that are thrown on people, these are names that were given by the white supremacists anyway.
I got a word I need you to define for me because I follow you and I feel like I'm not supposed to be acceptive of this class of people, but I don't really know what they are. What are tethers?
Tethers, those
like you knew what I was going to say.
Yeah, I knew you were about to say the tethers. Yeah, tethers. Those are people who are non-FBA who try to undermine us. They try to pretend to be us in order to infiltrate us and undermine us. So you have a lot of people who might look like us. They black with an afro. But when we go down to have some kind of political conversation about getting reparations, they'll pop in and say, hey, we don't need no reparations. We need to stop being so lazy.
Candace Owens?
Yeah. Then we start looking around like, who the fuck man is this? Who's that? Then nobody knows who the fuck this person is. We find out the person is foreign. That's the tether. So, but not all people who are foreign are tethers. Let's get that straight because a lot of people, a tether is basically a foreign coon.
Okay.
That's the best way to describe it.
Okay.
A coon with a passport.
Okay. Do they have to have an accent or just
No.
mostly they don't?
A lot of them,
Don't.
that's what makes them a good tether when they get rid of their accent and they can pretend to be a foundational black American. Those are the
Candace is an FBA, so where does she fall?
No, because Candace identifies as Caribbean. Because her people they're from like St. Thomas somewhere.
So what happens when you have an FBA that acts like a tether? They're not a tether though, huh?
No, well, they're just
Tether
coon.
type.
That's just a coon.
That's a coon.
Yeah, that's just a coon.
Okay.
Like a Jesse Lee Peterson, he's from like the South, but he's just a coon. So,
Have you ever went and had that experience?
what?
To set up in front of him?
Oh yeah, a few times. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I ain't
You haven't
seen
seen
that. Did you spank him?
No. What did I
know you had to
I
spank
gave
him.
him a coon award. I literally gave him you gotta see that. Y'all gotta yeah.
That's classic.
Okay.
Yeah, I gave him an
He
award
had
for being
one of
a
our
coon. Oh yeah.
champions. Okay.
Now, he's an OG coon. I had to
Okay,
give him
yeah.
his flowers for being a coon.
Tell me this, off camera.
He knows he's a coon.
No,
That's
but
the thing. I can
off
almost
camera behind the scene, is he that?
Yes,
he's
still
that
cooning.
much of
Yes.
that.
He's been in my house before. He was in one of my movies.
So he is one of us,
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah, he's the for real coon. He's not. It's not play cooning. He was at my house. We were. I had him in Hidden Colors 5, I think. And he got to my house. He was like, "Hey, Nasheed, this is a real nice house." I was like, "Well, thank you." He said, "If all these other blacks weren't so lazy, they can be like you." I'm like, "Damn, nigga."
Damn. I think he was still in character, bro.
Yeah.
I think
My
he's
crew, my
sketch.
camera crew was like, "Is he for real?" They
No,
were
he
trying to
wasn't.
whisper-
He
No,
saw the cameras.
No, they weren't filming yet. This was before they were filming.
I can't believe this dude can really be that dude.
Man, it's some Uncle Ruckuses out here, dude.